Two old guys in the records, one old guy for now, while Sydney's lockdown restrictions continue. We've forgotten how many weeks it's been that we've been in lockdown, but Mike and I decided to press on with some fun segments about our passion for our records and, some fun segments to create this cult of records that we want to create here at Two Old Guys and Their Records. All this week we've been looking at our favourite debut singles. Before we start, don't forget to like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, keep those comments coming through because we're listening and we're reading them also. And share the love for these episodes with your friends. Now, today's favourite debut single comes from a band. I'm going back to my heavy metal roots for this one. I've been told to go back after all these pop incursions. And this band put heavy metal, as in the 1980s heavy metal, onto the map because they reached the top of the charts, which was unheard of, and then subsequently paved the way for all these other metal bands to follow suit. I'm talking about none other than... Come on, feel the noise. Just rock your boys. Quiet Riot, Come and Feel the Noise. What a choice of a Slade classic from 1973. And Slade was inspired by the intensity of their live shows. Yes, they were an intense band, rock band, but also their fans were quite intense. So it's Come and Feel the Noise. Yes, a mutual respect between the fans and the band. Quiet Riot choose this as their single off the Mental Health album. But before we go there, let's go back to Quiet Riot. The Quiet Riot have been slogging away since 1973. Surprising. They were around for a long time. Now, it was Randy Rhoads' band with a guy called Kelly Gammy on bass. Now, Randy Rhoads is a virtuoso guitarist and his reputation grows. People flock to go see him. Yes, of course, Kevin DeBro, the lead singer, joins the band, a guy called Forsyth, but really it is Randy Rhoads' band. And even the polka dot, costume is his image. Now, they become very, very friendly and, of course, become rivals to Van Halen, very early Van Halen. Van Halen gets signed to Warner Brothers and Quiet Riot gets signed to Sony. But Sony only releases the Quiet Riot albums QR1 and QR2 in Japan only. And even to this day, they haven't been released in the United States. So lots of frustration in the band. Gammy has this huge argument with DeBro. Gammy leaves, right? And he's replaced by the bass player who's played for the Who's Who in the middle scene, Rudy Sarzo. Now the infighting continues and Randy Rhoads walks out. He auditions for the Ozzy Osbourne band and is successful. Goes to Ozzy. Rudy Sarzo follows and guess what? The band implodes. Yes, ceases. What happens is, of course, we know that Randy Rhoads unfortunately passes away. It's such a tragedy at an early age. And DeBro reforms the band to do a tribute track, Thunderbird, for Randy Rhoads. And he's got Carlos Cavasso, he's got Frankie Banali on drums, and he's got on bass, he's got Chuck Wright. And yes, they release they record the track and they enjoy themselves so much that they decide to continue. With the blessings, of course, of Randy Rhoads' mum, who says, yep, the spirit of Randy should continue with his band, of course. And they get signed by CBS. And this comes out. This was incredible because this was the first heavy metal single to hit the top 100. And not only the top 100, it goes to number 5 in the US, unheard of. Now, the album comes out on the back of all this MTV rotation for Come and Feel the Noise, and this goes to number 1. Mental health, right? So playing on the word, of course, mental health. Yes, I love the pun, right? Now, unheard of. Before that, it was the Police's Synchronicity that was number 1. This knocks it off, and then Lionel Richie knocks off this. So look at the company that Quiet Riot have. The Police, Lionel Richie. heavy metal goes mainstream. A very, very historical moment for metal. Now, the track Mental Health goes to number 31 on the charts. Okay, so, Quiet Riot have finally made it after 10 years of slogging it out. Okay, their next album, Critical Condition, doesn't go as good. Yes, it's got the hit single here. Again, another Slade song, Mama, We're All Crazy Now. Another Slade classic. Does okay, but the album doesn't do not so well. And this is where it all starts. Kevin DeBro starts ranting in the heavy metal press that, hey, you know something, we paved the way for all these metal bands to make it. It was as if, something was being owed to Quiet Riot. Now, even to the point where he says that Quiet Riot were like the Beatles in the way they brought the British invasion to the United States. Quiet Riot brought all the heavy metal bands into mainstream. So you know where this is all going, and it's not going well because a lot happens. The tirades and the rants continue, and to the point where DeBro gets actually sacked by the band. So the band continues without him. So all of this is a soap opera. Look, it'll take episodes to get through this, but DeBro wins the name back through court cases. There's more reformations than Rocky sequels, but they continue making albums to, less commercial success, of course. Now, all the way to DeBro's death in 2007, and Frankie Benelli dies in 2020, only last year. So, they've continued, and they're still going to continue. Why? Because it's such an important name, Quiet Riot, paving the way for metal to be mainstream and to a wider audience. So tell us what you think. What did you think of Quiet Riot and Come and Feel the Noise? Is it a great cover version? Is it a great song? Okay, and what did you think of Quiet Riot themselves? Did they deserve to be labelled as the band that put heavy metal on the map? We'd like to hear from you. Don't forget to send in those comments, like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share the love for our episodes with your friends. Next week is going to be a classic, Great Rivals. See you next week.